Hello everybody and welcome back. It's Ali from the Justice Journals and I am here to help you make sense of sense and even find perhaps some sanity when you feel you're being discriminated against, when you feel the system is up against you, or even tips when you have to represent yourself as a litigant in person, as I have done against the wonderful Department of Work and Pensions. In this video today, I'm going to be breaking down and giving you the secret about why the Department of Work and Pensions, your job centre, your work coach, and similar organisations have been hounding you for your bank statements. And trust me well when I say you are not going to be happy about this at all. Well, today I'm going to be bringing you some rather bad news for some of you, and that is this. Yes, I'm afraid that the fear bill has now become an act. So this means this is law. It passed today on the 2nd of December by royal assent, and I'm going to be breaking down all of the changes that have been made since the amendments, how you can best protect yourself, what powers there are now, and I'm going to answer some questions from the comments as well too. So without further ado, let's get into it. So if you do not know what this is, the FEAR Act, it is the Fraud, the Error and the Recovery Act of 2025, and it is one of the biggest changes amongst combined forces like DWP, HMRC and even the police in 20 years. And it impacts every single person in the UK, whether you are on benefits, whether you're not on benefits, whether you're self-employed, not self-employed, doing a side hustle, selling things on places like Vinted and eBay you. Trust me well when I say this impacts absolutely everybody. So I'm going to break it down and how you can make sure you're doing things in the right way, because the powers that come along with this are really not for the weak-hearted. Now, in layman's terms, this new act actually allows all sorts of public authorities not just to share information on you, but actually to monitor you and survey you, and even ask your bank, along with a whole load of other organisations, which I'm going to be going into in this video, to give them information about you without you even knowing. So public authorities are obviously going to be people like the Department of Work and Pensions, HMRC, which has got a typo in it, the council, NHS, and even schools, because schools are trusts and a lot of them are run and funded by public authority money. So also that's very important too. This is literally like a fraud bill with teeth of metal. So first things first, the biggest thing I think that most people are really unhappy about are the investigatory powers that lots of organisations now have. They don't need your permission. They don't even need a court order. They can just go ahead and submit notices to request pieces of information about you without you knowing. This can be really any type of document about you. It could be a digital record, it could be a bank statement, it could be trading statements, it could be things that you've made applications for funding, free school meals, car loans, credit cards, literally so many different things. These organisations can now apply for warrants to come and do searches at your property. Yes, sir. They can even have warrants to go into locked property, locked cupboards, locked garages, locked buildings, absolutely anything really that they want to. So if you're doing anything dodgy or anything underhand, or you have been, this is probably the time to start organising your affairs and making sure that, you know, you're doing things in a compliant manner, because this kind of notion that, you know, you can hide things away and just move things around and no one's going to find out really is just not going to be working anymore. Bank account access is a massive in this new act. And I think this is the thing that has scared so many people. I can tell from all of the comments, so many people object to you being asked how you're spending your money, what you're spending your money on. Lots of you saying, I'm not going to give them that information. I'm just going to provide them with my, a credit card payment. All of those things now that this is an act, it doesn't matter anymore. You cannot no longer not give them bank statements if they request them. So the time has come, I'm afraid. And even if you did refuse to give bank statements, they will do something else or put into action something else, which is called EVM. EVM is eligibility verification mechanism, okay, but it's a process. And what that process basically is that when you provide information to, let's just say, people like the job centre, okay, and they don't think that information that you've said to them matches up with the other information that they have access to, they can then stipulate an EVM. And that means that they kind of put your bank on notice or a bank, credit card company, an institution, that there is a mismatch of information. And then organisations like banks will then put you and your information and everything you're doing into an automated process, which is going to signal at a higher level mismatches of information. Now, if you're doing everything correctly and compliantly, there isn't anything to worry about. But also we have issues with AI, and in particular, DWP have made massive errors on people's accounts and saying they've overpaid them and requesting people pay them back hundreds and thousands of pounds, when in actual fact it's been DWP that have made the errors. So I know there is a lot of public concern about that, and I totally understand it. And over at the Justice Journals, we've got even more tools and resources and a whole load of training, templates, coaching, and all sorts of other things that you may want to use, not just for this, but also in other things with regards to PIP, access to work, self-employment, and just making sure that you're being as compliant as you can be. Now, the EVM mechanism, I'm going to give you a breakdown of some of the things that could potentially trigger this. One is unexpected income, quite a lot of money or regular money. So if you're on a benefit, and you're saying you've got no money, and they're seeing like payments of 5,000, 10,000, even £500 come in, they're probably going to ask questions. The next one is regular transfers. So if you're on a type of a benefit, or even if you have a business, or you are at full-time employment or any employment at all, and you are having regular money come into your account, maybe from PayPal, Vinted, things like that, they're going to question, is this person actually running a business as well as working and not declaring the income and paying the tax, for example? So that is something else that would trigger an EVM. The next one is trading patterns, okay? So people who have businesses that say they're not making any money, particularly to avoid tax, or if you're on a benefit and you're basically playing the system all of the time so that you can get benefits whilst you build up your business, but you're not doing it honestly, that is something else they are going to be looking into. So everything like PayPal, even crypto accounts, can be looked into. After that, we have repeated gifts. So if you are even one-off gifts, if you have like money going into your bank account and you can't explain legitimately where it comes from, or if it's too much money, they could honestly do all sorts of things. Freeze your account, freeze your money, raise invoices for overpayment of benefits or tax, etc., etc. And any transactions that look like work activity or work related activity that you have not been declaring up until this point are going to be not just problematic, but they are going to be systematically automated and sorted out, and you're almost going to be like the outsider looking in if you do not take control of your own situation. This new FEAR Act also does something which is like silent, well, it is silent access to your bank or the data that your bank holds about you. And I mean, so many people hardly use cash anymore, right? Everyone just swipes the card, Apple Pay, etc., etc. So from a bank statement, everything can really be determined about you. And this brings me on to a bit of a concern about bank statements. And I think at 10 minutes, I might have to do a series of these things because I haven't even started on getting into the deep, dark parts of this act. But everybody, particularly who have been on some type of a benefit, has been asked for bank statements. And that is this. In order for departments or organisations like DWP to take action against you, recovery action, they have to have a minimum of 3 months of bank statements. They cannot serve notices unless they have that. And I'm literally going to provide you a quote from this act, and it says, before a direct deduction order is obtained, the minister must obtain and consider bank statements for the account covering a period of at least 3 months. And that is a legal requirement. So for some of you who have been asked for bank statements, some of you have been saying you're being asked for bank statements for like years, not even months, I would be really making sure that you do have kind of everything declared as it should be. And for people that aren't complying, or for people who may be doing things, let's just say that they really, really shouldn't be doing on a large scale, this act also gives organisations direct instructions or the direct authority to instruct your bank to give them all the information for like 3 months or more, and your bank cannot tell you. So literally from this moment onwards, everything that goes into your bank, I would just imagine that everybody at DWP and lots of other organisations can now read that information, because I think from this, and of course HMRC's new Connect software system, they pretty much can read everything. So I'm going to end now on just 3 areas where you may want to be thinking about what you're doing if you are worried about anything that I've mentioned in this video today. According to this act, the 3 areas that they are really focusing on are carers allowance overpayments. Well, that is a little bit of a loaded gun, so to speak, because DWP have made lots of errors, but they're also claiming that lots of things haven't been declared properly by carers. There is also concern over universal credit earnings mismatch, and PIP lifestyle contradictions have all been under review. Example, let's just say you are so ill you can't go out, or you have an invisible or a not so obvious disability and you're not going out, and you're not, you have a very restrictive lifestyle, but then through your bank they can see, you're paying for petrol, you're going on holiday, you're shopping at certain places, or you're eating out, you're going to bars. And of course you can be one thing that is also very relevant here, this is not just financial information. You could be spotted on all sorts of car cameras and motorway and automobile surveillance cameras as well. So this is really about catching people out who are doing things really dishonestly, who are really playing the system, and quite frankly are making it really difficult for people that have genuine disabilities or people that are genuinely trying to make a start of things and finding it, you know, really difficult. And I want to point out to people as well here, like, if you make a genuine error and you can prove it is a genuine error, please don't think, you know, the worst is going to happen to you. This is really about catching people who are doing things wrong that they shouldn't be. But it is very obviously very, very strong, and having all of your information being accessed, having no privacy, I know is not very nice at all. Nobody likes it. Anyway, we are literally only into point 3, so I am going to be doing another video about this, probably a few, so let me know in the comments what you would like me to cover or look into regarding this, and I will do a video just for you. Take care, and I will see you in the next Justice Journals video.